If the Nintendo 64, N64, had been released in December 1995 instead of its actual release in June 1996, this would have likely altered the development timeline and release of many N64 titles. Here's a speculative alternative timeline. Hardware development 1992–1994, Nintendo accelerates Project Reality development, finalizing early hardware prototypes by mid-1994. Partnerships with Silicon Graphics remain crucial. Late 1994, development kits are sent to developers earlier than in real history, giving third-party studios more time to prepare launch titles. Early 1995, marketing campaigns for the N64 ramp up earlier, building hype for a December 1995 release to capitalize on the holiday season. Game development timeline. Super Mario 64, originally a launch title in June 1996, its development would likely have been rushed to meet the December 1995 deadline. As a result, the game might have launched as a less polished version with fewer levels, with plans for an enhanced version or DLC-style expansions, if storage solutions like the 64DD were available sooner. Pilotwings 64, another launch title, it might have been scaled back in features or graphics quality due to tighter deadlines. Wave Race 64, likely launch title, but it may lack some water physics refinements seen in the real version. Third-party support. Earlier access. Third-party developers received dev kits earlier, leading to more titles ready for launch or early 1996. Games like Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire might debut as a launch title, with fewer delays and optimization. Major franchises like GoldenEye 007, 1997, might see earlier releases, potentially in 1996. Competitive impact. Sony PlayStation and Sega Saturn, releasing the N64 in December 1995 directly competes with the already established Sony PlayStation, 1994, and Sega Saturn, 1995 in North America. Nintendo's earlier release might prevent the PlayStation from dominating the market as decisively. Sega Saturn might struggle even more due to an even fiercer holiday competition. 64DD peripheral. With the December 1995 launch, Nintendo might prioritize releasing the 64DD earlier to address the smaller storage capacity of cartridges. The peripheral can launch in late 1996 or early 1997. Impact on major titles. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, development might begin earlier, possibly releasing in 1997 instead of 1998. However, it could result in less time for innovation. Mario Kart 64 could be ready for mid-1996, filling the gap after the initial launch wave. Banjo-Kazooie, Rare might accelerate development, releasing the game in 1997 instead of 1998. Long-term implications. An earlier release could position the N64 as a stronger competitor, potentially cutting into PlayStation's market share. However, rushing development might lead to less polished launch titles, impacting early critical reception. Nintendo's focus on quality could still shine through in later releases. Overall, a December 1995 N64 launch could have forced Nintendo into a tighter development timeline but given it a strategic advantage during the critical holiday season. 4-0